Okay, friends, it's book review time. Today we're going to talk about an outstanding book called When Hell Came to Sharpsburg, The Battle of Antietam and Its Impact on the Civilians Who Called It Home by Stephen Cowie. This is relatively new from my friends at Sharpsburg. It is a most outstanding book, and let me tell you why. First of all, let me ask you this. What do you think of when you normally think of Civil War battles? You think of the martial conflict, the explosions, the cannons, the rifle, the musketry, the bayonets, the marching, the shouting, the confusion, people getting blown into the air and their guts and their brains flying all over the place. Yeah, right. That's what you usually think of when you think of Civil War battles, and when you see them in motion pictures, for example. Think of the opening scene from Glory, or the combat scenes in Spielberg's Lincoln. That's what I'm talking about. But what you don't normally think about is what Stephen Cowie addresses in this book, and that's the aftermath of the battle and what is left behind, for example, by Union armies. Think about this. If 100,000 guys show up in Maryland farmland, which is the subject of this book, and fight their battle and do their thing and then go off to other parts, well, they're going to leave stuff behind, the detritus of war, all the things that are broken that they just sort of discard, and dead bodies of human beings, dead horses and mules, lots of that stuff laying around. And this can get into the water table, and as bacteria do what bacteria tend to do, gets into the water table, causes diseases, bring flies, it stinks. It's really a horrible situation for everybody. And think about what else armies do when they show up on your farmland. They burn all the fence rails, they cut down all the trees, they eat everything in sight. If you have chickens, forget about it, they're going to eat them. They drink the wells dry, and then they relieve themselves, and they go away. So this is bad news for the civilian populations of anywhere where these armies happen to be traversing at any particular time during the war. Something we don't tend to think about. The environmental impacts of Civil War armies are huge, and something that we need to discuss more, especially as environmental history is such an interesting topic. We should bring that up more. I bring it up in my classroom all the time, and we have really interesting discussions in the classroom and on the battlefield. When I take my kids on field trips, we have the discussion on the battlefield of what things must have looked like in the days immediately after the battles. Another thing this book talks about, I think it handles it very well, is the civilian response when they petitioned the United States government for payment for damages caused by the Union Army, and how difficult it was for them to get payment. Some people didn't get nearly the payment required for the amount of things that they lost during the war, destroyed buildings and fences and various other things like that. So I strongly recommend that you read this book, and I'd love to have a conversation about it. So you can hit me up anytime you want at keithharrishistory.com. Make sure to like and follow me for more exciting stuff, including my entire course on United States history, which I think you'll dig. All right, peace.